Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 6 on our Bedrock realm. Here in my pit of villagers that I am eventually going to do something with. I am over at our storage area. Still nothing fancy over here, just still working around with it. But what I'm here for, get my armor back on, is to grab some wool. I went through and I organized all the wool I had in storage into different shulker boxes so that I can grab them. I named each one and dyed it so it makes it easy for me to see. And I am grabbing the wool because I am going to get started work on the hot air balloon today. So I'm just going to grab all of these for now. I made a deal with Waylander to use his wool farm to resupply some of the wool so that I can finish this hot air balloon, and I'm gonna stop and get that on the way. Is still cooking away? It sure is. I've just slowly been working more, getting things organized into different spaces so I have a spot for everything, because pretty soon, probably the next episode after I finish this one, I'm going to start working on building an actual storeroom. And so I wanted to have everything kind of organized. I've slowly been doing that over time. I have like different sections for different things. And right now I'm down to just a few empty chests and I'm figuring out things that need to go places. This is the junk drawer. I just drop stuff off in there and then I organize it as I go. I'm probably going to have to make a bigger section for both the mob drops and for the ores, because we're getting a lot of miscellaneous stuff mixed together here and same down here. But that is something that we will get figured out later. We're going to head over and get some more wool, and then we will head down. I have 17 of these because I have 2 purple because one of these is full. Head over to the hot air balloon and we'll get started on finishing that build. Oh, I found my backpack. My backpack was lost for the longest time. It has all my miscellaneous things that I carry around with me. I looked everywhere for it. When I finally started organizing my wool, I found out that I must have thought it was a piece of purple wool when I shift clicked it into those wool chests, and it sat there forever. And so if I had just listened to Gunnif and started working on my hot air balloon months ago, I would have found the backpack that was missing. So I'll have to do the I was wrong dance for her again. But I will see you when I get over to the hot air balloon and we can start trying to get that knocked out. I have arrived over at Waylandia at his sheep farm. Waylander's been doing a lot of work over here. And in a couple episodes I'm going to do a tour around to show you a lot of the things he's been doing. He's doing a lot of automatic farms and a lot of really cool decorations and stuff that I definitely would love to show off for him. But I'm going to wait to do that once I've had a time to talk with him and get some details about what he wants me to show off and some other things like that. But I did make a deal with him for wool, and so I refilled all my wool supplies, and then I also reactivated all of the farms so that they'll continue to stock back up. And he said it wasn't necessary, but I am going to restock his shear chest here so that he has plenty to refill once they're done. I will have to remember to message him to let him know that I have reactivated everything so he can check on it and turn it off once everything is full back up. But these are already filling back up with what was in the hoppers. And they're re-shearing as the sheep eat the grass. So I think that things are all working. I hope they are. As far as I understand, the grass from around will cause the grass to grow. The sheep, once the sheep eats it, it will set off the observer. Yep, there it goes. And then that will get the wool going back into the chests. So they'll all fill up as he's over here, and then eventually they'll all be restocked and set to go. Now he has plenty of shears to restock everything, and I have plenty of wool, hopefully enough of every color that I can finish this hot air balloon without having to get another resupply. But well worth the stack of diamond ore I gave him for access to his farm. So that will be awesome. Let me put his scaffolding back in here that I used to get up there to do the redstone. And we are all set and good to go. Made it over to my hot air balloon. So far we have finished doing the bottom part of the funnel, and we are now starting to work out with the red to do the bottom part of the balloon. So I need to just grab some of the wool, and we're going to continue on our progress of expanding this back up and out. I have been using like a circle guide online to get like the basic circles, but basically I just do a couple, skip a couple layers and go up, and then I extend freehand to get to it, and then I just kind of adjust it as I go to make it look the way I want it to. Working so far so good. So I'm going to continue on doing that, and we'll get up until that ring, and then we will go with the next step after that. Finish the next phase in the hot air balloon, and it occurred to me, I never actually explained what the hot air balloon is. Aside from it being a decoration of a hot air balloon, the hot air balloon is the skin I am putting around my drowned farm. So there's a farm in here, there is a water funnel where drowned spawn, and then the drowned get pushed down into the center, and they drop into a trident killer where I can stand underneath and collect XP and get tridents and all the good stuff from that. So this is basically just a way for me to put something around that. So instead of having a big farm floating above the jungle house, we have a hot air balloon that is a little more interesting to look at. So I have finished doing this red. I'm not quite sure how it looks yet. So I'm going to put a ladder back up here so I can get up to my... I just built like a little scaffolding here so I can stand and look at from different heights and see what the farm or what the balloon looks like. From up here, I think it looks okay. It looks kind of... the shape is a little off, but I think that's going to be alright because this isn't really going to be viewed from real up close, and I kind of want it to flange out like that. So that is pretty good. Let me get this back up so that I can get back into the different positions. I'm putting a ladder up just up on this side of the pillar I made just so I can climb the ladder and see it from various spots and different viewing areas. Eventually, when we're done, I also am going to be building a lighthouse that comes out into the ocean a little bit, which will be like a platform where you can view it from a little better, because from the surface, the rendering distance is a little short, so that all you can kind of see is that there is a balloon up there. You can't see the details. So I'm going to make it like a tower that is a lighthouse as well, because that's something else we had discussed. Gunnif and I had discussed building, and I'll make it at a point where I can actually see the balloon pretty well from that vantage point. I think that'll be a good way to combine it. But yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, there's a spot there between the orange and the yellow that I have to fix. But the things look good. I might need to do some stuff to kind of light it up. We'll see. Let's get a view from lower down when we come out of distance. The bottom part there right now is just the workings of the farm as it is. I'm eventually going to lower that down and have the drop chute go into a wicker basket that's hanging from the hot air balloon. And that'll be the skin around the actual farming area. But so far I'm pretty happy with this, the way it looks. From down here you can see it starts to fade out. And then let's go over here to the jungle house. The main idea was that I wanted it to look good from the porch here on Gunnif's house, because I didn't want her to have a big ugly looking building just floating above her house. So, and, you know, and this is where our bedroom is and stuff, so you kind of want it to look nice, you know? I think it's starting to look pretty cool. You're standing on here. It's kind of faded out, but you can see what it is, and you can see the colors. If you go up to the second floor here, and stand out here by the garden, yeah, that's looking pretty fancy. It's going to go up higher, and I'm going to do some more decorations on it, and it's going to take a lot of time, but we're getting there. It has taken me a few hours, but I have gotten some more progress done on the hot air balloon, and I'm ready to take a look at it, see how it looks from the garden terrace. That's actually really cool in a Minecrafty hot air balloon kind of way. It's very difficult to make something look round with square blocks, but I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like maybe the red is too wide. And I do really like how my little drown face came out. I used some really different colors in it to try to make it pop, because it from this distance everything would blend together. It was my thought. And I think it did pretty good. You can definitely tell it's a drown face. Let's go up and take a look at it from up higher. See what it looks like along our little scaffolding that we made. So I just kind of put a little platform out here so I can get up. See if I can do this without falling off. Of course, it's now raining, so it's harder to see, but that's okay. I want to see it in kind of different lighting conditions too. We can look at it with the sun out in a little bit. I still have to go in and fix that section for the yellow. You can see light coming out, but that does make me think that it looks kind of nice having some light on the underside. I may have to go through and put some torches out there, which is going to be kind of a pain, but we can do it. We'll probably just poke a hole through the wool, reach down, put a torch, and then put it back. So we'll do that next, but let's see what this looks like from the top and get an idea. Yeah, I kind of like that. It definitely looks blocky, but like that's kind of the point. It's a, you know, Minecraft hot air balloon. So I still need to put a roof on it, and I still need to work out some of the lighting stuff, like I said. So I'm going to work on that, and then once I have a roof on, when I do the roof, I have to be, it's going to be kind of odd because this section with the leaves has to be open at the top. So I'm probably going to get some more leaves and repeat that up at the top. But so that means that we're not that far from being done, because all we have to do is close in that blue roof and use a couple other colors probably, and just finish up to like about here, because then it'll have to be a flat thing of leaves on the top. Or we might be able to turn it into a dome, but the leaves don't count as solid blocks. It's open to the sky, and the drowned need open sky above them to spawn. If I put blocks there, we won't have a farm. So I'm gonna work on the lighting and finishing up fixing these couple little sections, and then getting a roof on, and then we'll show you the final result. It's been a couple of days since my last clip, and I have done a bit of work on the balloon. I got a basket in place. I'm a little disappointed because my goal was to make a wicker basket that was out of trapdoors. That way it was kind of like see-through. You could see out into the area around it while you're in the thing, and then it would look kind of like wicker. But from this distance, it does not have, you don't have the ability to see the trapdoors. They don't render. Let me see if I can't get... I'll grab a pair of these. I don't know that I have any rockets, though, but I'm sure I can make some. Let's see, do I have paper in here? If not, I have sugarcane down there. Nope. Let's put this away. We're gonna get... I'm gonna try to get a rocket going here so that we can fly up there and take a look around and see it. Should have prepared these ahead of time, but I did not. So let's do that. And we're gonna come down here. God, this house looks so cool. I like it. And then we're gonna come over here. And we got plenty of sugarcane along the edge here. We can grab some to make some paper. Should be plenty. Paper. Rockets. Rockets. Let's put some stuff in one of these chests. And there we go. So this gives you a better view of it. Let's see if we can't circle around. I didn't do any decorations on the side, on the back and things like that, because I did not. You know, you're not going to see much of that. I might add some in later, but the top of the balloon is pretty flat and also mismatched in colors because I ran out of light blue wool. But that's because the leaves have to be exposed to the sky for it to work. I probably will at some point bring up some leaves and kind of dome in the top of this to make it a little more round, just to make it look a little better. Because it kind of looks flattened off on the top, which kind of makes it a little janky. But like, I also was going for like a Minecraft balloon where it's kind of squarish and then balloon shaped at the bottom. I think it came out okay. I may tweak it some more, but I did a little bit of lighting on the side, just on the front, because that's where you're going to see it. So you can, it kind of lights up the colors a little bit. And then as far as the basket goes, you can see from here, there is trapdoors out here on the outside, but you cannot see them from the shore. You have to be pretty far up. Let's see if I can't get down here. Because my goal was to build a lighthouse like right here, and from here you couldn't see the trapdoors, and you can see as you get like right here, then they render in. Just kind of silly, but it is what it is. I know that's the case with doors and I think chests too, so it makes things a little weird. But right now the farm is, I didn't move it down. It just ends right there. I guess technically I could turn it on and XP would rain down from up there. But there's nothing connected to it for the sorter. That's all going to get built into this room eventually. But for now, I'm just using this as a little temporary base for me to sort things out. And we'll fix that later. The goal is to move that down here to kind of make it look like it's the engine for the hot air balloon. And then I'm going to build this tower out of glass and have it use some stained glass to do like an effect that makes it look like there's a flame going up to the balloon to put the hot air up. I think it'll look cool once it's done, but I'm not prepared to do it quite yet. I still want to figure some other things out before I move this down, and then we'll work on that in another episode. But one last thing that I want to do before we can call this done, and I can show you this by flying. If you look down at the ocean, there's a big black spot. And that's the shadow from the balloon. And that is something I don't know that I can do too much about. But what I want to do is grab some sea pickles. If you look at the floor of the ocean here, this is all lit up with sea pickles that we did to prevent spawning. I want to do some of that over here. Oops. I don't know if I'll be able to take off out of the ocean. Let's find out. Nope, I'm going to have trouble with the lag. That's okay. I want to do that here to try to get rid of some of the darkness and see if that lights it up. And if it doesn't, then I may have to come up here to the surface where the shadow is and put some like coral or something that comes all the way up and put some light on that to try to get rid of it. Because I just don't want to have this big black spot in the middle of the water. It just seems a little weird. But I'm not sure what else I could do to fix that. Like it, short of having light above the water, I thought about maybe building like a platform that like the balloon is tethered to with like a rope but I honestly, I had so much trouble with trying to get the ropes on the side of the basket to look right. I don't think I could do a rope hanging down that looked that great. So I'm going to grab some sea pickles. We're going to light up the floor underneath there first and see how that looks. And then maybe we'll come up with a better plan for lighting up that dark spot in the ocean. Okay, I got some sea pickles and I did a little bit of experimenting with it. I can light up the bottom of the ocean floor, but it doesn't really do much for the shadow on the top. This did do something for the shadow, but this was, I put a couple blocks underneath the water, and then I put some sea pickles on top of it. So I did one here on the edge just to see if it would kind of diminish it going in, and it did. So then I put one right in the middle, and if it was just a couple blocks underneath the water and I put some sea pickles on it, it made the thing light up. So I think that from a distance, I have this here just so I can fly out of the water. From a distance, I don't think you're going to be able to see those blocks. So I might just do some random spots of that to light up the area and get rid of that shadow so that it isn't so prominent, because right now that is kind of trying to draws your eye right down to the ocean, and I don't want it to do that. I want this to be just up in the sky, and I want it to be kind of the showstopper. So I'm pretty happy with how this project came out. It took a lot longer than I expected. It took a lot of resources to make, but I think it turned out pretty cool. I still have a lot more to do on it, but it's pretty much in a final state for now as far as the decoration goes. I just need to work on the inside to make it functional again. But honestly, I have so much tridents and copper and all the shells right now that I probably won't need to run this farm for quite a bit of time. So I will work on that, getting this done as another project, and it's on my to-do list, but I'm going to move on to something else in the next episode just to keep things interesting and not spend too much time working on the same thing. We can always come back and do more. So if you have any thoughts on other things I could do with this, let me know, because I will be coming back to work on it some more. But I'm going to finish up by cleaning out the inventory that I built up here, because I like to clean everything up and pack it up and take it back to my main storeroom between episodes, because I don't like having to look all over the map to figure out where all my stuff is, because I do that a lot. So I'm going to get all this inventory cleared up, packed up into some boxes, and this is all the wool boxes that I had. I'm going to fill those back up and get everything stored back at my... Always a thunderstorm right in the middle of stuff. But I'm going to get that all packed up, taken back to my main storeroom, and then we will call it a day here. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.